Oh, yep. I just got a notification from Patreon.
Nice. Cool. All right. So we're live on YouTube, and I'm gonna try this new thing where I put it live onto the Patreon. It works. Grandpa James was telling me he just said, like, I'm here. Like he was watching, I assumed he was watching on Patreon, the YouTube, which then when I went and watched it I was clicked over. It's
Yep.
like this is just like going live on Patreon. It's like the same thing because you can embed the URL. So it kind of serves the same purpose.
Hmm.
So I'm going to keep doing it for the patrons out there. And if you're watching on the YouTube now, you can go over to patreon.com/DVR. All right, Ando, I do have a bit of housekeeping in the beginning to go
Yep.
over. Okay.
Yep. No, that's fine. I
All
kind of
right.
want to read through my notes a little bit anyways, because I just to refresh myself quick. So I'll do
All
that
right.
while you're
I am going to
rocking.
start. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Welcome back, everyone, to Pod Huggers, an Alien Earth transmission. We are here talking about Alien Earth Season 1, Episode 7, the penultimate episode. There's only one episode left, entitled Emergence. What an amazing episode. We have a ton to talk about today. It's going to be very, very fun. But first off, I want to thank some people once again who reviewed us on Apple Podcasts, including Deadhead Dan, Nick to the Knack, and me and Andy. And also a new one from Wolf Jedi 92. Love that handle, as they call it. And there, Wolf Jedi says, Kirsch is a mole. So glad I found this podcast. Y'all are great and provide amazing analysis. I think Kirsch is a mole for one of the other five. Wendy is turning and will side with the aliens, and Nibs will go completely psychotic. Great podcast. This was written before the
That's.
episode.
I was gonna say. I wonder if he still, if Wolf Jedi still believes that.
Yeah. Well, I think, and we'll talk about it later, I think it still has a lot of validity. Um, I want to thank everyone who has downloaded, everyone who has reviewed. We have some new patrons, which is always absolutely awesome. We have a lot of people going, just checking out our Patreon, checking out our website at dvrpodcast.com, checking out patreon.com/DVR. We have, and like I said, let me bring up my alerts here. Laura is a new member, and last week we had Adrian, Jakob, and Samantha, Michael, Tracy, some other Ari, some other people, Joshua, who have become free and paid members in the last month or so. That's awesome. We're independent podcasters. If you've enjoyed watching us and listening to us, become a patron, or, as Mark Maron always said, throw us some shekels. It keeps the lights on. Andy's a farmer. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Heath is an actor. Everyone else has jobs and stuff. We do this mainly because we love it. That's why we do it. And just to kind of chat with each other. And it just so happens we've been doing it a long time, and people like to listen to it. And speaking of, we had another review from the United Kingdom from SeaWorld fan. I'm a longtime listener of Axel's podcast, but found this one accidentally whilst looking for podcasts to discuss Alien Earth. And I thought, I know that voice. Andy is so insightful, interesting, and pleasant to listen to. So Axel and Andy together is a dream. Thank you so much,
I'm gonna
SeaWorld.
cut that sound clip out and play it to my wife. Pleasant to listen to. It'll be perfect.
Well, listen, I really do appreciate all the people who have listened, and also if you're liking Nicole's art that I added, I'll add a new one this week. I'll grab some piece of art from her, or maybe she'd sent me if she sent me one. I'll have to look in the old email, but I hope everyone. I know Andy, you were like,
Yeah,
this is awesome.
it is really awesome. Very impressed.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And I hope everyone, her link is in the show notes. Look at her art. And we do also have a couple of emails from Megan. First of all, I love the podcast. Enjoyed your takes on a really great alien Earth. Just one question. Why do you keep calling the sheep a goat? That's all. Keep up the great work. I look forward to a new podcast every week. I replied to Megan, I said, I that's the greatest mystery. I don't know. Is it a sheep? Andy, you're a farmer. You
Yeah,
should have corrected me.
I I know I've said sheep a couple times and I keep going back to goat too. Obviously, I don't farm with animals anymore. All we do is grain, so I guess I
Yeah,
need to get back to my livestock side. But I I know in the back of my mind that it's sheep, but for some reason I keep saying goat too, so I blame Severance.
yeah. So do I, actually. So do I. I was going to say it's probably Severance, which we covered as well. If you like listening to us, go to DVR podcasts. Just scroll back, see what we all the kind of sci-fi fun. Sugar on Apple. We covered Severance. We cover, of course, going back to Game of Thrones, Mindhunter. We're getting so many Mindhunter downloads right now. It's ridiculous because they announced they might do a couple movies. But Heath and I covered Mindhunter, the whole series. But yeah, it's a sheep. Thank you, Megan. We're
And if anybody
gonna,
hasn't
yeah,
watched Severance, there actually is a goat plays a part in
yeah,
Severance, so that's why our I think our mind
yep.
is going there. And we were just immersed in that show a couple months ago. So either way, we have no excuse.
Well, we don't. We're just, our only excuse is we're dads and our brains are fried.
Yes.
Um, Also from Sharon. Hi, I discovered you fellas about 2 hours ago while waiting in my doctor's office to have blood drawn. I hope it went well. I've started my second time watching episode one and wonder if you caught this Easter egg. The barking Rottweiler in the dark hallway harkens back to Alien 3. The dog was the initial host. Anyway, I've enjoyed what I've heard of the
Yes.
pod so far. You've made me aware of so many different cool underlying shit. Thanks, Sharon. Yes, good call, Sharon.
Yes.
That's
Thank
very
you,
cool.
Sharon.
I like that. Hopefully, there were no aliens in your blood draw
Or black goo or anything
or
else
black
that
goo or
could be
anything
in
like
this
that.
universe. Yeah.
Hopefully, you're healthy and safe and doing well. And yeah, that is, I think that's all. You catch all these little things. We try to talk about certain things, but I think it's fun
Well,
because
and
even in the little music you hear
yeah,
thing,
the
like it's
music
all,
cues and well, in those first couple
yeah,
episodes, we were so focused on the first two films that, like I
yes,
say, I know there's little dabs of Prometheus and Alien Resurrection even has gotten some, and there's
yeah,
probably Alien versus Predator things in here that I haven't picked up on because I'm not as familiar with those two films. So yeah, that's one of the reasons we love this show, I think.
yeah. Um, so yes, okay. And I also just wanted to shout out again our Facebook group, Daily DVR, a TV and film group. I was late in posting like this episode. What does everyone think? I apologize, but I know we have some great people over there who are watching. And another shout out to our, I don't know if that was our friend Elton, who they've been, uh, I think it is on the Black Dog. He's been covering it. And he did put a little note under there. Great coverage, guys. And Elton is awesome. And I listened to his F1 podcast, the Grand Prix
Yes.
podcast, which is awesome. And sometimes now that football has started, I sometimes miss F1 a bit, what's happening. So his pod is very fun too. And those guys are hilarious. But anyway, thanks everyone. Let's jump into this episode. This was a short one. This was only 40 minutes long. Actually, a little less than 40 minutes because the opening credits count a little bit too. The opening kind of what happened
Yeah.
already, right? Previously on Lost,
Previously on, yep.
previously on Alien Earth. Um, and so, very short episode, action packed. Back in the day, Ando, we might be calling this one a bridge episode because it
Hmm.
is it what it does is a lot of the things we talked about in the last episode we're seeing happen, especially Wendy's journey, obviously Nibs, Curl, everybody is moving forward slightly in Smee, all
Yeah,
that
the
kind of
the chess
stuff.
pieces are being put into
Hirsch.
place.
Yeah, we're seeing a progression in all Morrow. All of our characters are progressed in this episode. It was nonstop action. It was a lot of quick decisions. I thought it was so fun. My mouth was open the whole time. And I have to admit, Ando, my wife and I don't know if you and your wife are like that. Do you watch this show with your wife?
No, yeah,
No,
no, because we had talked
yeah,
about this,
that's
I think,
right.
in the
We did.
beginning that
Yes.
she's seen the first two films,
Yes.
and when she heard this was coming out, even though she's in love with Timothy Oliphant, she said, "Nope, not
Too
happening.
much. That's right.
Too
I
much."
remember. And then I say, yeah, see, I was surprised, but my wife is in on this. She's very much liking it.
Hmm.
And I remember she had that theory about the eye evolving, the alien evolving without an eye. Shout out
Hmm.
to Perry. I love you, honey. Um, Good thinking. Uh, but we kind of said, yeah, do we want to watch Alien Earth or do we want to watch let's watch there's a new Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Love it. Okay? What are we gonna watch? You know what I'm saying? Like Alien Earth is a little like you get that first nudge, like this could be a lot, right? Like it's a heavy show.
Hmm.
But then I push through, always it's been 6 weeks. And it's not. It's always so fun too. That's the
Yeah,
thing that this show is getting a lot of press about being deep and having a lot of subtext and looking great and everything. But I just want to shout out that this episode was fun as fuck, and my mouth was open the whole time. And every time things happened before I could even think what
yeah,
was going to happen next.
yeah. Yeah, I really, the first thing I should correct you, the title of this name is not Emergence, or this episode is not Emergence. It's How to Train Your Xenomorph, is the
Oh,
actual
okay.
name of this episode.
Okay. Yeah.
The one thing, the fun is definitely part of this because there, in a lot of the Alien films, the fun has not always worked. They've tried to have fun a lot of times, and it doesn't. Like
Yeah.
Resurrection tries to have fun, not really that fun. Besides this, and the first one, as much as I love that film, it's not exactly what I would call fun. The second one is definitely fun. This is, I think, the most fun thing in the Alien universe since Aliens. And this episode, they went to a place that I can't believe that they never really have gone to, which is basically a riff on Jurassic Park, because that's a lot of what this episode was. And I am a huge Jurassic Park fan, the original.
Ando,
But
you are so right, dude.
they're
You
in the
are so
jungle.
right.
The xenomorph is basically like a velociraptor in the jungle, and some people want to let them out. They escape the zoo. They overrun.
Wow.
They're trying to smuggle technology off the island. I mean, this is I kept thinking Jurassic in the best way possible. Definitely a Jurassic Park type of thing. So I loved it. I love that it's out in the sunlight. I've seen some criticism of this in a couple Alien group fan groups that I'm in, and one of the major criticisms for people that hated it was Alien is supposed to be in the dark, not out in the sun. We're seeing too much of it. It's not, and I'm like, that's part of why I love
What?
this because
What?
it's completely different. Yeah, well, it's weird. You know how super fan groups get. There's always people that start complaining, but I was like,
I don't understand that. Let's not expand this universe and make it better and challenge it. Let's
yeah,
just go back and do the same shit over and over again. That's real exciting. This is
hmm,
what happens when our generation has obsessed all these generations with the
yeah,
mythology and the IP. You have to do that. Like it go. My childhood is ruined.
hmm.
Please ruin my childhood over and over again. My parents already did it. Um, but seriously, I love that part.
Yeah,
That was
I
like
did
the
too.
most fun part to me was that they were going
And
outside, Andy.
I love we got some more of the well, and just the fact that it's done because like the other, I think I had said this on one of the other episodes. The only other time they've really technically been on Earth for very long was in the second AVP. Well, in the first one too, but those were so dark they were almost hard to see what was going on a lot of times in those films. So it was, and just I say just something about the jungle setting. The xenomorph just fits
Yeah,
perfectly in that
it
jungle setting.
does. It
It's
does.
almost like a pre. I also felt a little bit like a Predator film.
Like a
So it's
jaguar or something,
yeah,
you know?
for sure. So it's just I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Or
And,
like
I
the
mean,
smoke monster on Lost.
yeah, I got a lot of Lost vibes too with especially with Joe and Wendy and Nibs out wandering around, and
Yeah,
I was waiting for Michael Giacchino's score to kick in and the
I
march
know.
across the island type thing. But
Oh God.
yeah, as far as like theory stuff, there isn't nearly as much in this because, like I said, it's a lot more straightforward, like we were talking about beforehand. But they needed to set things up, and there was still a lot of action. And I like that we saw the Space Marines back in action again. We hadn't really seen much of them since like episode 2 or 3, so
Yeah.
it was I had fun, and I liked how they had to. I mean, they've set so much stuff up. They had to kind of confirm a lot of stuff that we knew or didn't know, like how much did Dame Sylvia know what was going on, and how much
Right.
does Kirsch know? Who does Kirsch work for? I mean, we can that's still up for debate, I think, in some ways, but I I'm pretty convinced he is still working. He might be working in business for himself, but I think he's still.
Uh, I have a question. We,
Yeah,
we
I don't
we will
know.
get to it. I have a
Yeah.
question. I have a question. But you know what, Ando? Since this episode was only 40 minutes long, my notes are like very in order.
Mine
So
are too.
let's just kind of do it in order. We don't have to spend too much time on certain scenes, right?
hmm
But basically, we start with slightly hiding Arthur's body under his bed. Smee comes in, slightly spills the beans. They have to move the body, right? They have to get it to
And that,
the beach.
one thing that this series that I like is they have taken some of the simple yet super effective things like just the face hugger tightening its grip when anybody tries to mess with her,
Oh, I
or the sound,
know.
like the snoring sound that it does. Those are such like that's like the
And
original
he's
thing.
trying to feed him water
Yeah,
underneath
and
the.
you can hear him like choking
Oh,
on it, and it was so like simple yet horrifying. But I mean, it was also done in the first Alien, but they kind of skip over that on most of the other Alien
yeah,
things since
man.
then. So I
Yeah.
love that they're going back to the roots a little bit on this kind of stuff, and such a great scene, creepy
Uh,
as hell.
Once again, I want to give a huge shout out and call him by his name, Mr. Adarsh Gurav. I think to me, so we're on episode 7. This is the best acting in the show because it really the plot and everything could be unbelievable. And he's pulling it off. Like, I'm sad. Like, when he's like, what about my mom? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of, oh, God. So, this whole scene was really just some great, and Smee, too, is great acting. Both of them are just fantastic, man. Jonathan Ajayi, he's really just a great cast, and this was really affecting. Then we jump into the good shit. Kirsch is in the lab. They're getting the flies, right? Kirsch closes the egg cage. He's like, okay, I'll close that after he's
It's
looking around, right? Because it's kind of like, maybe I'll keep it open.
yeah,
The guys go in, they get the flies. Boy Cavalier shows up. He shows them the footage. They do have a little conversation over the body of Isaac, who
hmm
has to remind him that's his new name because he's
yeah.
doesn't really
I
care
I
about
don't
it because
think
he's
I don't
Spider-Man.
think Boy K even knew that because he looks at him like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?"
Well, he
The
doesn't care because he's on to the
Yeah,
eye. Like he's
yeah,
obsessed, right?
he doesn't give a shit.
He
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit.
There was some interesting information about the fly too that Olaf or that Kirsch gives us. He said the first thing is they digest their food outside their bodies,
Yeah.
which I mean, I'm obviously because it's so toxic, it would probably kill them, which is kind of a cool idea. And says organic matter must have been scarce in their world, so they eat mostly minerals, which which
Ooh,
makes it because then that's a natural predator to the synthetics and to the hybrids. So I think that's a very cool idea too. So
that is. Yeah, I like that stuff too. That is very cool. And also there's a part where they're over Isaac's body and uh, Boy says, "How are we with restore and what does he
reboot and
say?
restore.
Reboot and restore." And he says, and then Kirsch is like, "Well,
Conceptually, it's
it's
possible, but
conceptually." There you go.
practically, we haven't cracked it.
There you go. I knew
And
Ando
then,
had it.
Boy K
Which,
just has the most nonchalant line. Well, there goes 6 billion.
yeah,
No more
which
kids in the lab,
means
I guess.
he's dead. Which means Isaac is dead. The kid is
Yep.
dead. They killed a kid. They rescued this kid from death. Told the parents the kid would live on, but you can't ever have the kid again. The parents did this. It was so meaningful. They did something that is perhaps never done before in the world, right?
hmm
Because there's still an impending launch of they're supposed to all be standing on stage together.
Yeah.
Remember what happened to that? That
Which
doesn't
is
seem,
still because I think what did she say in the last one? She said it was 2 weeks away, I think.
yeah,
And this is
yeah,
only like 4 or 5 hours after the last week's
yes,
episode.
yeah.
So
I don't think that's happening, Ando.
I don't think so either.
Or if it is, it's going to be Wayland Yutani standing there with a different type of announcement or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I that is kind of hilarious. Um, what was I saying? Oh, what were we talking about, man? I lost my train of
The
thought.
kids. Well, this is
Oh,
also the second
yes.
time. This is the second
Thank you.
time that they have killed the kids because we
Yep.
see the graveyard later, which confirms to me that when they transferred the bodies, the mind over, they literally killed these six
Oh,
kids because,
but they showed them being zipped up into body bags and
yeah,
taken away. I assumed that, yeah, I
and
knew they
I
were
guess
dead.
I didn't really, I knew they were dead, but I wasn't really sure that they were the ones that actually killed them. And I guess Sylvia said something about that too. Worst case
The
scenario, we just killed a
process
bunch of
killed
kids.
them.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
process killed them.
process
Yeah.
killed them.
Hmm.
Um, which is interesting because there is no backup then, right? So reboot and restore means if they don't have their consciousness or a constant, like in Westworld, right? They had the Ethernet thing and a
Yeah.
constant backup happening.
Yeah,
So
there's no cloud backup on this
there's
system.
no cloud backup. There's no whisper net or go on the island that picks up everything, which you would think that's was part of the tracking that was in their brain that that was shut off by Joe and I keep on losing his name, Arthur.
Arthur, yep.
Yes, that was shut off, but you'd think that would have something to do with it. I'm okay with that though.
Yeah.
Basically, we've gotten the information. They are dead. Isaac is dead. He's not coming back. So each successive, when we see later on, they're dead too. They're not coming back. There's no way to reboot and restore, and they have no backup, which is interesting that they have no backup. You'd think they would.
Well,
Maybe though,
I don't think they can back them up. I think that's why he says we haven't cracked it yet. I think that they haven't found a way to
yes,
they could only transfer the brain or the whatever one
they
time and they
can't
don't
hold another copy of it.
yeah, they don't have a way to duplicate it yet.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I don't know the process.
Yeah, it's a little
It's
bit hand wavy or you kind of have to take it for what it is, but I'm okay with it.
that's genre stuff, right? When we
Yep.
watch sci-fi, when we watch fantasy and they tell us a rule, that's the rule. But rules can be broken because there is another character, our dame, Sylvia, who we later on see, and I'll give it away now since we're talking about it, we later on see her with Curly. She says everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, as if she has a plan and we don't see her again. So, whatever she's concocting, it's possible that she does have a backup, that she didn't tell Kirsch and Boy
Yeah.
that she was able to back the kids up in some way.
And did you
Um,
catch in that scene too that Curly calls her mom and mommy a couple times?
yes, it was very, and because she's looking at the pictures of
Yeah.
Arthur, she seems, and then she gets yelled at by Boy while she's laying
And
down a lot. She's having like a little bit of a psychotic break here, right? Like she's not processing what happened and the choices she made and what she did to Nibs and the conversation she had with Wendy
and
Bell.
Dame is probably going to find out what happened to her husband. And there was another very
Yes.
subtle nod in this episode. I don't know if you've seen it. The first time when Boy K comes and talks to her, she has and later she doesn't have this, but in that specific scene, she turns her head and it is the exact same haircut as the Bride of Frankenstein. Like
Really?
exactly. Yes, it
Really?
has to be. Even the shot, a famous shot from the movie, is it has to be a reference to that. There is no doubt in my mind.
There's a lot of horror. This is, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I could believe that, Andy. That's interesting.
which
Okay.
makes me believe that she may have other things. Maybe she has some type of backup, or she
Well,
has some other things that she's got in the.
this show is like that though, right? Because one of the
Mhm.
funniest parts of this whole episode is that we went into that whole extra, what, exfil, that whole
Oh yeah.
Morrow's plan to have the
Uh-huh.
alien bust out and cause havoc. And before that plan can even happen, Wendy's like, hey, boop, boop, you're free,
Yeah.
motherfucker, go kill everybody and do exactly what Morrow wanted to do because they took the body to the beach. So it's going to take a little time for that alien to grow up and come out and fuck shit up. So let's let you out. And you know what? it's interesting. There's something to be said for a theme of Boy Cavalier being so cavalier and his actions leading to multiple people being angry at him and willing to fuck him over in the fact that they'd have the same plan, which is
Hmm.
to use this alien against him,
Hmm.
right? I find that interesting. Anyway, back to the beginning, because we're still at the beginning. Um, Boy learns more about the eye. He sees the sheep footage, not a goat, it's a sheep. Thank you, Megan. And of course, what is he interested in? He's just obsessed with that fucking eye now.
Just like us.
Yeah,
We are
exactly.
Boy K.
He doesn't give a fuck about the safety of anyone.
No.
Wendy walks into the lab, sees Isaac is dead. As we talked about last episode, the boy said this is a place of yes. I do at the end of the our pod, I kind of was like, maybe she's like questioning that. That's why she keeps saying it, right? She's
Hmm.
like a kid, like testing the boundaries.
Yeah, running it
And
over and over in her head again. I
yeah,
think that for sure
yeah.
is what's
And
happening
then
here.
seeing Isaac, the reply that she gets from the boy, don't tell the other kids, convinces her he's bad, everybody's bad, gonna send her to Joe's side. Then she does the ultimate thing. I'm doing
Oh,
noises into the mic. She makes
yeah.
the noises. She shows him, motherfucker, you fuck with me, I got the alien. And then the
Ugh.
guards let her out.
That was
And
so damn cool when the
yeah,
alien just does the
yeah,
against the
yeah.
glass and
She's like, fuck you. I can
yeah,
control this thing. And then they freak out. Well, I should say, Boy freaks out. Kirsch is kind of intrigued
yeah,
because earlier in this scene, um, Wendy says, "What happened?" And Kirsch to Isaac, and Kirsch looks at her and says, "Science,"
science. Yes, that line was so cold.
which to me, immediately when he said that, explains so much, and we should have just trusted that in his initial talk about humans and all that. This is all just a big experiment. He's telling the boy a little bit, not too
Yeah.
much, because he's experimenting with everything. He's the puppet master. He's the man behind the curtain,
Yep, he
and
is.
and he is really just as the as this episode develops. Obviously, we see that even more so directly. But that when he said that, I was like, ah, yeah, okay,
Yeah. That's his
it's a
it's
big
part of why
experiment.
my feeling of him being a plant from somebody is going less down. I think it's more just
Well,
he's
I don't know about that because it makes me feel like one, he may be more cavalier than Boy Cavalier. Like Boy Cavalier made himself a copy of himself, and that's Kirsch. He's even more interested than even more willing to let people die and be whatever
uh-huh.
happened to them. Or he is working for someone else, and that goes even to the at the very end. I'm gonna
You know,
as
I could see him switching sides if he thinks his experiments could be furthered by teaming with Wayland as opposed to where he is now. I think that's a possibility. I'm just not sure if he's there yet. Anyways, cut to the very end. What were you saying now?
oh no, I that's good to say too. Kirsch says, oh, Kirsch says, when Morrow is finally captured, Morrow says, this isn't over. And Kirsch says, nothing ever is.
Yeah.
And it means, and that was almost like a little bit of a wink and a nod to the audience, like, wait a second. This whole plan that we've seen Kirsch, the whole episode, take the elevator, right?
Yeah.
Looking on his screen, telling the boy, because when uh, after we have this point where Kirsch and Wendy goes storming out. She's now changed her mind. She's going to go see Joe. The next thing that Wendy does is Wendy goes and finds Nibs and Curly. Um,
There, before we get
boy,
off that, before when before right before she storms out, I think there was at least one or two interesting lines there. There
Okay,
was
yes, please.
she yells at him and says, "You just can't erase things, or you can't just erase things," which I thought was an
Yes.
interesting line.
Yep.
And
Yep.
there's another thing that I thought was super subtle, and I know we'll talk about it at some point. It's one of the edits again, one of those fade ins. And she says, "We're not safe." And when she says we're not safe, it fades to the Xeno just very briefly and fades back, basically telling us that when she says we, she's talking about her and the Xeno. She is not talking about her and Joe or her and anyone else. I thought, man, that is so subtle and a great way to let us know what she's thinking. I thought it was very cool. I really love that.
Okay. What Andy, you're a great podcaster. I just want to tell you that.
Well, thank you.
That person who wrote that in was right. I had skipped ahead of that, and I'm so glad you brought that up because Wendy's motivation when she hears that line, because what happens is she kind of goes to this place and then she hears Boy Cavalier's voice and he's saying, I don't tell the others. I wouldn't want them to think that they're not safe.
Yep.
And then she wakes up and she goes, we're not safe. And then
Hmm.
you get that. And then she said, that's what she says the rest of the episode. You see, Wendy is very, she, what do they say? When you take the like the power of suggestion, she's very open to the power of
Yeah,
suggestion.
very susceptible to it for sure.
Susceptible, thank you, Andy. That's what they say. She's very susceptible. Like in the last episode, she had her mantra. The boy said this is a place of yes. Now she has her mantra of this episode. We're not safe. We're not safe. And
Hmm.
she's saying, and because I'm thinking to myself, they show the alien, and I'm like, who the fuck? What are you not safe from? What are you not safe from? The xenomorph that we've been terrorized all as the human population for over 40 years? Is that what you're not? I mean, us as in the
Yeah,
audience. What are
yeah.
you not safe from? You're not safe from Boy Cavalier. You're
Hmm.
not safe from Kirsch. You're not
Hmm.
safe from Dame Sylvia and Arthur. You're not safe from the Eye. The only thing you are safe from is the xenomorph.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very
And
brilliant, and you
by the
pointed
end of
out
this episode too, I don't think she thinks she's safe from her brother even.
that's
So
the ultimate yes, Andy. That's how we yes. To skip ahead, as our friends in the Double P Podcast Network would say, that is the last thing she says. What did you do?
yep.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. So we can't help but tie everything together,
And
folks. We
I
tried to
did
go in
love too
order.
a little bit of reaction from Boy K when he finds out that the trackers are turned off, and we actually see him lose his cool and the oh fuck and the
Yeah.
I loved all that. It's not really a story thing. I just liked seeing that character
Yeah.
frazzled for the change and not be Mr. Cool.
Ando, why can't they turn him back on? I have a theory, but what's your theory? Why can't they just turn it back on?
I don't know. I hadn't
Okay.
thought about it.
I want to try. I looked a little bit online. I didn't see anyone else say this, but on the screen it says system lockout.
Oh,
So I think that they not Arthur not only disabled them, but he locked out. No one can get into them now. They're free. Like you can't.
kind
He
of
did a
like Wayne
system
Knight did
lockout.
in Jurassic Park when he locked all the technicians out of the system.
There you go.
Bingo.
Very interesting. It was a system lockout. Because now you could also say, well, guess what? They've got about 3 seconds before the shit starts hitting the fan.
Yeah.
But we do go get this scene. Like I said, we get the two
Or how about this? How about he does turn that Kirsch did turn him back on because he did find Smee and Slightly very quickly, and he just didn't tell Boy K that he turned him back on.
that is a very good point, Andy.
I just thought of that now, but
I did
he
not.
did find them awfully
He
quickly, and that's a
keeps
very
looking
large
down.
island.
Yeah, he keeps looking down on his thing and showing
Yeah.
up places. Ando got me again. You're right about that. Well, he is the man behind the curtain, isn't he?
Yes.
And another thing we find out when Kirsch and the boy confront Dame Sylvia, that he has no that we know that Kirsch knows that Arthur has a face hugger on him and has been taken away by Slightly. And we don't know that he knows that he's with Smee too already, but we know that, and he doesn't tell Boy Cavalier that because Boy Cavalier's like, "Where's your husband? He locked that
Yeah.
blah blah blah. He didn't get on
And
his
I
thing,
think too, that's the,
his
knowing Boy K's
ship or
character,
whatever."
if Kirsch had told him that off screen and we hadn't seen it yet, I don't think Boy K would have just said, "Well, your husband's got a face hugger. He's gone." I mean, he
Yeah,
wouldn't hold that information
no,
back.
no.
Because he's so damn
Good thinking
careless
though,
that
Ant. See, Ando, I like that you even thought about that, that he might be lying. I
yeah,
like that, but yeah, I agree with you. No, it would have served his purposes more so to say, your husband's fucking dead. You want to be next?
yeah,
I'll
that's
put a
exactly
face
right.
hugger on you. Here's a picture of him. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, that's how
Yeah,
he would act. But so Kirsch again didn't tell him that information. And Dame, as we talked about before, she's very, she's not, she's somewhere different.
yeah,
And which leads me to believe her and Curly are hatching a plan, which we're going to see in the next episode. And we also have the scene where Wendy and Joe confront Nibs and Curly. She makes Curly promise not to tell where they're going. She also says you can't trust the boy. She
the
makes her
boy genius
intentions
is not your
clear.
friend.
The boy genius is not your friend. Me and Joe are getting the fuck out of here. Nibs decides to go with them.
And take Mr. Strawberry with her.
Yeah, take Mrs. Strawberry. Nibs is gone, dude.
Yeah,
She's gone. The conversation they have makes no fucking sense
no,
when
yeah,
what she's
she's
talking about.
complete. The supposed fix that they did, or whatever Dame actually did not work,
No.
or it changed her into something even in more trouble than she was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's messed up.
Um, so after that,
Well,
let's see.
that's also right before they leave is when Wendy manipulates the screen and
Oh,
lets the
okay.
Xenos
That's what I was gonna
run
say.
wild.
Yeah. She does her superpower, which is fucking cool.
The
And
Neo the Matrix style.
yeah, exactly. And of course, and again, as I said, this is Morrow's plan. She does it for
Hmm.
him. Kirsch runs into Slightly and Smee in the hallway, tells him to take the body out the elevator. And the music in this scene is awesome. It's like this sneaky little
It was
futuristic. It's awesome.
almost like I didn't even put that in my notes. It's like playful or whimsical
Yeah,
almost.
it was
Like,
almost Star Warsy.
yeah. And there was some good acting there too when Kirsch comes around the corner and finds them
Yeah,
and slightly you can say he's like I'm not and and Kirsch's like I know and they look it's like uh-oh like why are you going that way? Like
yeah.
a complete fake out there. I thought that was a fun, really good scene.
It was a lot. It's always, hey, look, as we know from our days of Lost gone by, humor in a show like this is vital.
Yep.
You've got to be a little funny. You've got to have
You have to break that
character.
tension every once in a while.
Yeah, you've got to have a little weirdness.
Hmm.
Now we're outside, and I fucking love all these scenes, and I don't know why anyone would say that they weren't all
I know.
awesome.
I reading it, I wanted to respond to every one of them,
Out
but
of
I'm like, I'm
10.
not. Don't go swimming with those guys.
No,
Don't do it.
no, it's okay. That's sad, though. I feel sad
Hmm.
someone would feel that way, because it's practical location shooting. It looks amazing. Um, I
Yeah, I even
love.
sometimes will complain about drone shots, but I love the drone shots in this. Looked
Oh,
great.
I know. There was one time where you could see the tree move when the drone moved back. I saw it too. Be quiet, people, okay? Be quiet. It's all right. It still looked amazing. I know it was
Uh-huh.
a pullback while there. This whole, it was just, I mean, I just thought it was awesome. They come upon the graveyard of the kids' bodies. This was fucked up. And I think this is when Joe starts to realize that's not my sister.
I was gonna say exactly the same thing. I think this is what actually gave Joe closure because they'd
Yeah,
made a big deal before about how they wouldn't even let me see your grave,
yeah.
and I think this is closure. I don't think he's gonna see Wendy as Mercy anymore, especially
Uh,
after what happens at the end. But I think
yeah.
it's now it's gonna be
Uh-huh.
Wendy and not Mercy.
Yes. Marcy is dead. And also their last name is Hermit. I don't know if we
Yes.
had ever really known that. They called him Hermit, but I thought that that might
Well,
have
we
been
had
a
said at the
nickname.
beginning that I had said Joe Hermit was on the. I think I had read it off one of the screens when he was trying to
Oh, okay.
get discharged or something, or
Okay.
get go to the medical school thing on Mars or wherever that was. So, but yeah,
I
this
dig
definitely
it.
confirms that.
That's fantastic. I'm just looking at my phone because we might be having a special guest very
He
soon.
said he wasn't sure. He had some stuff came up. He wasn't sure if he would make it or not. So
Oh, no. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
I told him we got
Um,
a late start, so he might still
yeah.
be able to make it. We'll see.
All right. So good stuff here. Graveyard. Joe, I think, yeah, we'll see what
Oh, and actually, I
happens.
have it wrote down too. While
Oh,
Joe is doing that, uh, Wendy says it's not us. We're still here. So she's even
yeah.
saying that that's not us at the same time Joe is right there. Yeah.
Oh, great point, Andy. They both know it. They
Hmm.
both know it. Now we get an extended sequence of Smee, Slightly, Arthur with a face hugger, Arthur without a face hugger, the alien coming out of Arthur's chest. This whole thing, this whole sequence was fucking awesome. The
Hmm.
tension, when is it going to happen? We never know. How long does it take? What's going to happen? We're waiting every beat for him to
Yeah.
start going, oh, oh.
The
And when
escalation of tension in this scene was just great. And
but the whole thing with the
the
face
kids
hugger
being
falling out of the tree and then he just
yeah,
walks out and like, what
and
happened? Where am
the
I?
kids being so nervous, like, oh, there was a gas leak, there was this, there was, and the kids having no idea what's coming, and it's just like, oh, this is going to be bad, this is going to be bad. Yeah, this was a masterfully done scene. I totally agree.
Um, I loved it all. And
Confusion is a side effect of the gas. Oh, and then I thought the acting that Arthur did too is like he's kind of remembers that he fought with his wife. And
yeah.
then he's like tells how children need to learn how to lie, and you're still learning. I can tell that you're scared and you're lying, and just it was just oh so good. The whole scene was so good.
Oh man. And the desperation too
Hmm.
of Slightly during this
Hmm.
whole thing.
Yeah, when
Smee
he's
trying to
slowly
hold it
realizing
together.
that Arthur is probably fucked, and he's the one who caused it completely.
Yeah. Gosh, man. This was brilliant. I loved it. And when it finally does happen, he starts getting those flashes of
Hmm.
remembering what
Hmm.
happened to himself. And he's like, wait, guys. And then oh, it was great. It was awesome. And then when the alien bursts out of his chest and then it just slithers off into the woods, he tries to grab it.
Yeah,
He's like, oh no. Because he's like, they're gonna kill my mom. Like they're gonna, oh my God. You know, you can oh, jeez Louise. It
yeah.
really got me. But I loved it all. And I love that it was outside and I love that it was bright. You know what else it reminds me of, Ando? When I look into your background on YouTube, and you can all watch
Yeah,
us on
that's why I'm at
youtube.com.
the beach. That's why I'm at the beach today instead of on outer space for a change. So
Yeah, there was a certain Star Wars movie that introduced us to stormtroopers running down a beach with palm trees. It
yes,
reminds me of that as well.
yeah,
That's
it
pretty
does.
cool.
Hmm.
So let's see.
The
Oh,
next scene is the Curly visiting Dame
okay. We
and
talked.
being her
Yes,
calling her mom and
yes. We
all
talked
that
about
stuff.
this already.
Yep.
Then we go back to Slightly and Smee. They are now carrying Arthur's body on a raft that they somehow made. That is there what I want to know is there a deleted scene where we see them build this raft? Because
Yeah.
I just let it go, okay? But I even looked at it and you could tell it's handmade. Like it's got the weaving. It's
Yep.
not like two sticks put together. Like this took hours to make, but they somehow found it. I'm willing to let it go, but it was a little weird.
Yeah. I agree with that too. It is
Yeah.
weird that I mean, we didn't see a bunch of them laying on the beach when they were walking earlier or anything like it would be a normal thing to have them there. So I
It was just, it was too well made.
Yeah.
that makes me think that there is a deleted scene where they were putting that together and talking to each other
And saying
about,
we need to bring the body back or so. I wish
yeah,
I wish that would have been there because I think it would have
right.
helped even because it also would play to the kids being foolish that it was actually going to help
Yes.
anything.
Because why are they even you can see that the thing came out of its
Yeah.
his I mean, like, because now they don't know that Morrow is probably like, cool, that thing's wreaking havoc and I'm just gonna go find it and get it
Yeah.
now, right?
Hmm.
But it's so sad that they bring the body with them. It's so sad. And when then Morrow's soldiers pop up and and I know you're gonna say it too, that even their SEAL team outfits are like vaguely samurai,
Yeah. Oh, you know,
right?
I actually didn't catch that this time,
They
but I like
are.
that.
If you look
Of
at the
course they are.
swoops and the
Yeah.
angles,
Uh-huh.
everything is like a vaguely samurai outfit that they have on. But when they finally,
Perfect.
Morrow's there, they're gonna go, they take the guys. When they finally just dump Arthur's body, it's just so sad, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wrote that down too. I didn't
Yeah,
even know what to say about it, but it definitely had an effect on me. It's just like, well, we're throwing out this piece of trash.
yeah.
And it's like, oh man, just brutal, brutal
Um,
stuff.
Morrow says target one failed, moving to target two.
Yeah.
So if target one is they didn't, if it failed, they didn't get the body. But I also thought part of the plan was to let the thing out. But maybe we just thought that, Ando.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
want
think
to question that at this point, even though
that might be the case. Because I
yeah.
mean, and what exactly is Target 2? That's I mean, they go into that facility, but is it like them trying to get one of the other
Well,
aliens or one of the other Xenos or
yeah, we'll see, right?
yeah.
I have some question about that. But anyway, they're on their march. Um, we go to a scene where this is a real fun one, which is Boy Cavalier, the sheep, and Adam in the room together.
Oh,
This was awesome.
yes.
What
So
were some of
I
your
want to
favorite
know.
parts?
He said Boy K says all advanced civilizations would know this. What are the next three numbers of pi? Would you be? I don't think I'm an advanced civilization because I don't know the next three numbers after 3.14. Maybe that's just
Well,
me.
I do know that because that is my wedding day.
Oh,
That's the only
nice.
reason I know 314, but it's not, I don't know my wife probably knows it.
Yeah, because he says the next three numbers after that, after the
Yeah.
3.14, are the sign of an advanced civilization. So I just thought, well, I guess I'm not an advanced
Yeah.
civilization.
Me neither. Me neither. We thought we were at the DVR podcast network, but we're not advanced. Um,
I'm not entirely sure we're a civilization either.
yeah. Wait, well, maybe we were for a weekend.
That's true.
We're
That's
for a
true.
weekend. If only our Joe Bear would come back and hold us again in the cuddle puddle. Um, Back to the show. The way that the sheep communicated with the stomping and then shitting at the end
Yeah.
was, I was like, this thing is really smart. Was
Yeah.
so funny too. That's again the humor.
Hmm.
This whole scene was awesome. The way he becomes so obsessed with it, because we are too,
Yep.
right? Like we really are too. And Adam is like, we shouldn't separate them. We shouldn't do that. And he's like, and then when he's like, I gotta put this in a person so it could talk, like what we were talking about. But
Yep.
we've already seen it in a person.
Yep. And he hasn't. That's the
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Morrow's seen it in a person.
Hmm.
But it didn't talk to Morrow. It made that
Yeah,
calling
that
out noise,
that weird predator noise. Yeah.
which we don't know was either calling the alien or its mate to make two eyes.
Hmm.
And as Nicole had that theory too about the
Yes.
male and the
It's still on the
female.
table. I still like that one a
Yeah,
lot.
that it's hiding somewhere, that the other eye is hiding in plain sight in someone, and we don't know who. Could it be Kirsch? Could the eye be inside Kirsch? And that's why he's doing what he's doing?
Huh.
Hmm.
You know, if he was doing that though, I don't know if he would. Well, I mean, we've seen the eye studying everything all the time, but I don't know if he would be taking this much time.
Or it maybe would be trying to communicate with him more directly
Yeah.
in some way. but maybe that's their game.
I do.
Anyway,
I thought it was interesting too what Boy K says here when he starts going down the just listening to how his thought process works. I thought was kind of where he's like, we should put it in a person, and then like immediately lists off like 8 things in a row. Someone who talks and uses the toilet. One of the scientists, maybe? No, a mold scrubber. Someone with an IQ so low we can see the difference. I even remember he's practically giddy when he's talking about this. It was
yeah,
thought it was very, I thought I actually think Boy K in this episode was really the actor was really great in
he
this
was.
episode.
And we get that answer, the mold scrubbers, because we've seen
Yes.
them in those episodes.
Yep, we
What the
just
fuck are they
mentioned it
doing?
last weekend or the
Yeah,
weekend
the
or the week
mold
before, yeah.
scrubbers. Um, and then the eye sheep kind of looks up at Adam before he's, and I thought he was going to say, I thought right then and there, Boy Cavalier was going to like trip Adam, knock him on the ground, and stick
I
him
did
in the
too.
fucking cage, like right away.
Yep.
But okay, so of course, the ultimate question is this is the last we see of them in this episode after this awesome scene, which everyone played a great part in, including the sheep. And let's give some credit to the actor playing Adam as well. Great job.
hmm
Um, who are they going to try to put the eye in, Ando?
I think at this point we have to go with the most obvious answer is Joe, but I don't know if Boy K knows that Joe has escaped the compound or not. That was the other thing is who does he know? Because I thought, well, Morrow would be a choice, but I don't think Boy K, this is before Boy K knows that or before Morrow was captured. So Morrow
Right.
wouldn't be an option really either.
But when we come back to it, all of we're there's going to be some sort of resolution at the
Yeah.
pier, and he's going to know about Morrow. So I guess you're right. That's a good point. At this
So
point,
other
his choices are unclear.
Joe or maybe Dame Sylvia, I think are the only two other
Ah,
humans that we
okay,
really know of. I
okay,
mean, the Joe thing makes sense because he doesn't like Joe, number one,
yeah,
and because he knows that Wendy is already talking to these things, and he would maybe want to do it just to. I mean, personally, I think it would be a very stupid idea, but to see how Wendy would react to it is the thing I would think of. But and to just eliminate Joe. So I don't. That's my guess. I don't. Do you have any other ideas?
not really, not really. I think that um, it is.
Because
We
if it was
don't
going to be
know.
a Xeno, he would have, or a Xeno, if it was going to be a, synth, he would have said, I wonder if this can go in a synth. He
Yeah,
specifically said human. So,
yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. At this point, Andy, we we don't really know because when we arrive back at these characters, time we don't know what time has elapsed and what options he has. But for the purposes of our story, it would make sense that it ends up in Morrow because we've seen Kirsch's disdain for him,
hmm
and it would delight him, I think, to see how he interacts, maybe how it interacts with a cyborg or
hmm
something like that. But then again, maybe you're giving it too much power,
yeah.
right? Because of the arm.
The
It
thing
could
with
be a
that though is
dangerous.
I don't think Boy K would care about giving it too much power. He's going to do it just to do it. That's kind of his
There you
whole
go. Well,
mentality. So,
that could be that. That's another aspect of it as well.
hmm
That we have. We don't know, but I will say one thing: the interwebs is a buzzing um, about who it could be and what will happen in the next episode, and definitely we'll see what happens. Um, we then get to see an amazing scene, and this is maybe what those people were complaining about. I thought it was fucking awesome. And I love how this alien has kind of like a stain on the front of it. It's
and
almost, it's like
you know,
camouflaged or
I
something.
couldn't tell if it was camouflage. At times too, it almost looked translucent, like we were seeing inside of it. I couldn't
Ah,
tell if it was a reflection or if it was like a paint kind of th
okay.
like you said, a camouflage, or if it was translucent even. I couldn't. It was awesome. I was like staring at it the whole time. I couldn't quite figure out or tell what it was.
Yeah, interesting. It could be, it just, I love the design of it.
I do too.
Um, we get to see Wendy working with the alien as she, Joe, and Nibs are accosted by, I guess, SEAL Team 2, not Morrow's team, but the other another. We don't know how many teams there are,
Yep.
but we see the alien then takes them out splendidly, violently. It's fucking nuts. Bodies are landing. Joe's like, "What the fuck?" because he realizes that his sister called out to this thing. Then at the end, and also Nibs is like this. It's like fascinating. The whole time Nibs is like, wow.
Yeah.
Not exactly scared. Not
Hmm.
exactly scared like she was of the eye.
No.
Um, and at the end, Wendy like kind of protects Joe, talks to the xenomorph and like wipes the blood, kind of touches it on
Yeah.
that same area we're talking about. Maybe it's an injury or something, or
Yeah,
maybe it's a
this was the How to Train Your Dragon. Instead of be
yeah,
toothless, it's eyeless is this one. But
yeah.
the yeah, that whole scene was so weird and creepy, and I did like it.
Um, does the alien know it comes from Joe's lung?
I don't know. I don't
Does it?
know.
Is there any? Because we had talked earlier about them being special, you know?
I mean, he
And
seemed like, or the Xeno didn't seem like he was. I mean, he seemed like he wanted to go after Joe. It didn't seem like he like in Alien 3 when we've seen Alien Ripley with when Ripley's pregnated with the thing, and you see the alien back away from her. Like we've seen that before, where aliens will not go after something that is a part of them or something. So,
yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think it does. It did, but I guess it was unclear to me.
But the whole thing was fascinating, and obviously this has progressed. This is she is commanding it, and Joe even says at the end, "What did you say to it?" And she said, "Hide and follow, I think."
Yeah.
So it's also communicating that this is similar to another creature that we've seen before, Ando, which is a different dragon in Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
where we have long debated, for those of you who are Game of Thrones fans, the dragons do what the fuck they want to do. And if
Yep.
you watch House of the Dragon, it's even more obvious that the dragons are the ones in charge of what's going to happen and deciding whether they're going to attack or not, and not the humans, and
Yeah.
that there's a whole shadow like dragon politics happening that we
Mm-hmm.
try to understand on House of the Dragon. And I think that there's this, it's a similar thing here. She has control, kind of.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of Khaleesi, but you're totally right. This is
Yeah.
very much a Khaleesi type situation here
And
too, I
like House
think.
of the Dragon, I think even
Yeah.
more so,
Well,
like
yeah.
because it's earlier where there's more dragons, they're strong. But it is exact. You're right, like Khaleesi too, where it's like their anger takes over, and that's the blood of the
Mm-hmm.
dragon, and she is somehow, you know, it's interesting because the experiment you think of Kirsch thinking about experiments, and I see our friend Heath is
I
ready
was
to
gonna
join
say
us,
you should
but
have a call any second.
yes, Heath, we hear you. I just want to finish my thought here. Um, the experiments that are going on, and one of the things that they talked about is that these hybrids are learning and growing. And if you think about it, by communicating with the alien, this is changing Wendy too. So Wendy is becoming more like the right, like it's
Mm-hmm.
influencing her. See how easily suggestible she is.
Yep.
It's influencing her too. So that's an interesting concept. All right, we're almost at the end of the episode. We seem to have him up, maybe by audio. Heath, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm talking to aliens.
All right, live from his car. Where are you? Are you in El Segundo? Where are you?
No, no, I'm leaving Northridge, going through Reseda. Had to drop my wife off um to get some dental procedure done. I just said, honey, get out of the car. I got to get on a pod. Good luck. No,
There
just
you
kidding.
go.
That's
All
all.
right. Well, Solo, we're following along, and we're getting towards the end of the episode. So just jump in along with us, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So we're up to the point where we see the little, we're getting kind of flashes. We've just left the point where the alien is with Joe. Nibs, and Wendy, and it kills all of those guys, right? Like that awesome scene, Solo, okay?
Yep.
After that, we get a kind of flashes of what's happening on the island, and we actually see something kind of cool, which is the little alien gets captured. Like a quick shot of it goes over this trap and it gets captured very easily, right? No big deal.
And before we get away from the stuff with Joe, he also takes a gun there too. That's an important
Ah,
little key.
yes.
He
Yep,
grabs
yep,
the
that's
gun
true.
before we see the snake or the net get the baby Xeno.
Then Murrow and his men are walking right into the facility. They've got oh no, they've got Slightly and Smee with them,
Hmm.
and they're walking into the facility. They're immediately surrounded by everyone, by 1,000 guys from every angle.
Yes.
Solo, may I ask you, did you find this at all suspicious? Because we're still trying to figure out Kirsch's motives. Does Morrow have a plan up his sleeves? How did you feel at this point?
Well, going into this episode, because when Kirsch is Timothy Oliphant, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I might need some help here.
that's it. We'll
Um,
help you.
okay. So I was like, why is he letting Raj from uh Big Bang Theory going in and doing that? So I was like, huh. And then he's like letting them, he goes, this is the right way, go this way. And I'm like,
Right.
what? So but then there's the dynamic with Kirsch and the
Morrow.
cyborg Yaphet Kotto ish
Morrow.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Morrow.
Morrow. Sorry, listeners. It's Heath Solo here. But I don't, because I was thinking, does he work for someone else? Does he have his own agenda? Is he done with Kid Cutie or whatever the Jesse Eisenberg, Timothy
Yeah,
Chalamet
Boy
guy?
Cavalier.
Boy
Yep.
Cavalier. Oh, that's right. Axel calls him Kid Cavalier. I call him Kid Cutie, and it's Kid Cuddy. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, I'm very confused. It almost seemed like they were so ready for it. And then with that trap with the little alien, was that, do you guys think that trap was there, or did someone spring that trap to catch him?
I think Kirsch was following it along the entire
Yeah.
time. I
Oh,
think
okay.
Andy's right, and he somehow
Right.
turned back on the cameras and he was able to track the kids and see what was happening.
Yeah. The more I've
And that's
thought about it,
also,
I think he completely lied
yeah,
that he couldn't turn it back on. I bet Kirsch did, so he knows where everything that's going on.
yeah,
You know what?
I
That
think
would
so
make
too.
sense. Yeah.
Because also, how do they all end up at the boat at the end? I
Hmm.
mean, he knew he gave them the code, but they all pop out, they're
Well, I think
waiting.
at the end, though, I think in a couple episodes ago or last week when Joe talked to the two Marine buddies,
Yes, he
he
saw
said,
them.
well, and he
Yeah.
asked them about how far away is the boats, how far away from the mainland.
That's
So, and
true.
the Marines, I think, got it.
And is
Before
correct.
I forget too, before we go, we have a bunch of comments we can get to when we get to the end of the episode. Here might be a good time to just go through those, but don't let me forget we have comments in the chat too.
All right, let's get to the end there because we're here. We basically, as we talked about already, Morrow says this isn't over. Kirsch says nothing ever is, and then um, Kirsch, holding the little baby alien, walks out of the room and he tells Slightly and Shmi they're grounded. And then we don't see any more of them for the episode. So now, and oh, he says, put Morrow in holding, right? So
Yeah,
Morrow is
lock
going
them
into
up.
holding. Lock them
He has
up.
another good line too. Drop your weapons. Nobody likes a sore loser.
Yeah.
This Oliphant was just dropping lines left and
I
right in this
Yeah,
episode.
I don't know if I buy this whole thing. I still don't know what Kirsch is doing. I'm open to him being I don't really have a feeling either way. I just know that he knows a lot more than everyone else, and I'm open to him and Morrow even working together. The conversation that they had in the elevator could have been a long-standing, it could have gone back to before Morrow left on the ship. You know what I'm saying? We could get a flashback. We don't know how long Kirsch
That's
has been
true.
around,
Yeah, we don't know how old
right?
Kirsch is.
So I'm open to anything, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it
Um,
because I felt like Axel Ando that when they were in that elevator when the first, I felt like there was either history between them or they
Yeah,
know of each
maybe.
other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There was something there. It wasn't just like, hey, who,
Well, in the elevator, that wasn't the first time they met this season. They met in the eggs when they were on the ship, like in the second
Right.
episode
this is why I'm
when
not on the podcast,
it's
Ando, because I don't remember things like that.
well,
Okay,
because yeah, at the very beginning, like
that's right.
Kirsch has slightly guard the eggs, and that's when Morrow shows up and they have that brief little confrontation. But there's still a vibe that they may could have known each other before
Yes.
this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Then we get the final confrontation out on the pier. The Joe's guys and the Prodigy soldiers pop out. Things go haywire. There's a series of events which lead to Nibs grabbing the jaw and ripping it off one of Joe's friends. And then
Ugh.
Wendy gets involved and kicks the woman we were talking about last episode who was like, I'm just happy I know where the creatures are,
Yeah, the
remember?
one with the colored hair, purple or
Yes.
pink in her hair. Yep.
He kicks her, and then Nibs ends up throwing another one off the ship. Then she kills that woman, and then Joe with his like gun that may have been used to try to capture the alien. It's like a kind of a bolt of electricity, right?
I think it was one of those gun, like the same kind of gun that Kirsch had to,
Yeah,
or not Kirsch, Morrow
Morrow.
had early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he kills Nibs. Nibs is dead. Fries Nibs. Then they kind of try to get everything under control and say, drop your weapon. Joe drops his weapon, and Wendy screams, what have you done? But the important thing is, during this whole confrontation, we hear the alien, we see it looking, and Wendy is gonna call it, but Joe kind of stops her at first, and she
Hmm.
stops. And we're left with the question, is Wendy going to go, and that thing's going to come out and fucking kill everybody, including Joe, maybe.
Well, and there was a few other things in there too. It's little details. The one of the
Please.
Marines says to them, "Don't shoot. My orders are to take you back." So they
Ah.
definitely don't want to kill. And you missed the one great line that Nibs had in the entire series before she was killed. Mr. Strawberry says to fuck off. I mean,
What an ending. And we also get kicked in the earbuds by Queens of the Stone Age. Great music at the end. I think that's Mark Lanigan, right? He died. R.I.P.
Yeah.
so
Screaming trees.
Yeah.
I found out too, the guy who does the compose, they talked about this on the podcast, official podcast. The composer for this show was in the band Tonic from the,
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
if you could only see
yeah, he's
the
one of the
way.
co-founders of Tonic. So he scores
Nice.
almost all of No Howley stuff now, I guess now. So
That's awesome. I love when these guys and gals they start scoring stuff, you
hmm
know? Like, most famously, of course, what's his name? Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo doing like the kids shit forever and all the different
yeah,
themes and, right? It's
yes,
And
awesome.
Atticus Ross and the boys from Nine
Oh, of
Inch
course.
Nails.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
The Radiohead guy, and yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Johnny Greenwood
Yeah,
with
the PTA
PTA.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah. And, oh, hey, we forgot to
DJ
mention
Jazzy
it.
Jeff.
Solo, when we covered Task episode 2, we
Hmm.
forgot to mention that playing in the background in one of the scenes is the Long Road by Eddie Vedder, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that
That's
was from the Sean Penn movie, wasn't it? From
no.
oh,
Long Road and I Got ID or ID was
uh,
on a like maxi single that because Pearl Jam did a session on they played on Neil Young's Mirror Ball and they made
yes.
this thing called Merkin Ball which they released
Oh,
two
I
songs.
got that the day it came out, my
Nice,
friend.
me too. So that yeah, that's where that's
Oh,
from.
see, I thought that was part of the thing they did with Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan when they did the music with him. I
No.
think it is.
No, that's from the Neil Young
Oh,
because it's
okay.
called Merkin Ball and Mirror Ball is
All right. We're gonna talk about this on the next episode
the
of
next episode
Task.
of Task. Little
So
preview there.
if you're listening, Heath and I hopefully will do it, or someone will do the
This
next
is like a
episode of
Marvel
Task.
stinger where they advertise
Yeah.
the next movie coming
Um,
up.
But
The DVR stinger.
let's
Yes.
get back to our show. Heath, tell us how you felt about the end. Where do you think the show's going? Any thoughts you had about the episode? We reached the end of our recap, so we're opening the
Okay.
floor to you.
All right. You might have covered some of this, but I'm just going to give you some, and then we can, figure out what to talk about. The scene in the lab when the alien is in the cage and just like moving around and stuff, I was got so geeked out. I thought it was the coolest thing. It was just that, oh, it was so good. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I'm still a little sick of the two kids, the two bros, but I've
Oh,
let it go now. I'm just like, okay, I get it. They're kids. So I'm okay with that. Now. Um, but I gotta say, a shout out, of course, to Sydney Chandler. She is awesome. She's like her acting ability, I think, is just above and beyond a lot of these actors. And the fact that she's communicating with the alien, using the alien to her advantage, I'm just like, this is insane. I mean, because have we ever seen that in any
no,
alien movie?
no, no.
We haven't, right?
No,
So
this is the most submission we've seen. Morrow took one down and was able to control one, and she's able to talk to it and kind of control. We've
yeah, because
never
now
seen
Wendy took
anything like
down
this.
the alien early on,
He
right, in the
killed one,
series.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I was like, now she's communicating. I'm like, do they know she killed one of theirs? And so I'm like, I'm trying to figure that
Oh,
out
that's a good
if it
question.
matters, if it matters. But the fact that I mean, it just goes to show you if you can communicate with these aliens, then maybe, you won't get killed. But like, that's like the ultimate weapon. And you could see that she's turning and very much turning on her brother because she seems to care. That's where I want to ask. Throughout, she seemed to really care, wanted to be with her brother and all that. But now it seems like she has more loyalty to the other kids, like her. Um, so
And the alien.
and the alien. So I'm like, is that something in the programming? Is that something with, yeah, you can move someone's consciousness to this body, but you're not going to be the same person. Um, and then also with whatchamacallit, Kid Cavalier. Do you like that he threw the go to bed without your supper line that he was told? I
That
was
was
like,
funny.
interesting.
I had forgotten that Utani had shot that one at him last week or the week before.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, Solo, to go back to what you were saying about Wendy, Andy and I agree with you. She definitely seems to be more in line, and it seems that when they went to we were just talking when they went to that graveyard, it
Hmm.
was a way of both her and Joe saying goodbye to their former relationship. And I think
Right.
Joe realizes too, because remember the people that were killed on the dock there, those are his brother and sister in arms. Like they've seen
Yes.
shit together. Like they made fun of him, but they also cheered for him. They did a lot to develop their relationship early on, if you remember the few scenes they had together.
Hmm.
So seeing them be murdered like that in front of him by Nibs, who is obviously crazy,
Yeah.
and his sister is now a robot too. I think that he might pick up that gun. That
Yeah,
there
well, and
is,
we had mentioned this when we talked about the gravesite too, that the like she even says to them while they're sitting there, "We're not them anymore. That's not us." And Joe is finally grieving that the gravesite thing was mentioned a long time ago that I never even got to see your grave, and now he's got
yeah.
the closure. They're both seeing each other as not their siblings anymore. I think yeah, they're gonna turn on each other. Or one of them's Joe gets the eyeball, and we see Alien versus Eyeball again. Or I mean, there's going to be some big confrontation there. I
Well,
think.
I'm even thinking. I mean, look, this show is supposed to go on for other Has it already been renewed for season two? Have
Not
they?
not yet. Not has
I
not
just
been
Okay,
renewed
announced.
it. I just renewed it just
Solo
now.
renewed it. Sal
Perfect.
Saperstein renewed it. Thank you, Sal. Um, I thought it was kind of funny how no one said that at the Emmys. They should have said it. They're waiting. They're gonna
I think
wait.
I saw Rogan was asked about it on afterwards. I think I didn't see what his response was, but he was asked about it in a press
He
conference
said it's
later.
our
So,
thing and it
oh
would waste it. It would be too
well,
much. It's like killing the joke.
yeah, I
I
like
agree
that.
with him. I kind of agree with him.
Yeah.
It's
Quick
predictable.
question.
Uh, oh, yes.
Kid Cavalier, he he wants to put the eye in someone. I'm assuming Joe is he wants to put the eye in Joe because he
The only
mentioned
two
he
we
goes, I
could
got the
even think
perfect
of was,
candidate.
well,
And
Joe
then
or
they kind of
Dame
flash.
Sylvia are really the only two we could think of that were even
Yeah.
candidates.
Because
Because he does say human.
they didn't flash right to Joe's face, but they went to like the jungle or whatever, and then Joe was
Well,
in that
yeah.
scene.
Well,
So
they put the alien in his lung already, right? So
Hmm.
there
yeah.
is kind of a little bit of foreshadowing there.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
was going to say, though, I wouldn't be surprised. I mentioned that this is supposed to go multiple seasons, but I wouldn't be surprised that Joe picks up the gun and kills Wendy. I think that this series can survive with him being the lead of it or someone else, or
Hmm.
it picks up in a different story, or you know what I'm saying? This could end, and let's not forget, Noah Hawley is famous for he likes making like the what are they called? The mini series or like
Anthology.
Fargo, the anthology. Thank you, the anthology. So
Right.
next, it could be Alien Earth, could be an anthology, and next season is something different. So we could be getting in the finale, he kills Wendy, he gets away, and I still go harken back to Ando, what Ando reminded us of in the preview episode of this
Oh, I
podcast.
can't wait to hear what this is going to be.
You said it. You said this thing is probably going to end with them nuking it from outer space.
Yep. Um, there was just before I forget to mention this, and we had talked way, and I don't know why this never occurred to me, but in the last couple episodes, I had said, "What's going on with Smee? Smee hasn't really done anything major yet." I started thinking about it, and they're called the Lost Boys. Well, in Peter Pan, Smee is not a Lost Boy. Smee is the right-hand
No,
man of
of
Captain
Captain
Hook,
Hook. Yep.
and we have another character in this show that has a basically has a metal hand.
Mm.
I think we may see Smee join. Can Smee is obviously looking distressed in this episode and like betrayed by Slightly. I wonder if he is going to help Morrow, and that's what's going to lead to the big confrontation between
That
Morrow and Kirsch again.
Ando, you know what? That is great. And I can't believe we never mentioned it
I
early
know.
on that why is it slightly and not
Well, I
Smee?
would have if I was on the pod,
I know.
guys.
See,
You know,
we should have had
I'm a Peter
Solo.
Pan
But
aficionado.
Solo, to get back to your question, we were kind of debating, and as is the whole fandom, people watching this show, who is the eyeball going to go into?
Right.
Joe is a likely candidate. So is Morrow now that he's captured, right? So is Dame Sylvia. She's another. We're just trying to think of what other
So
humans
is
are
Boy
even
K
available.
himself.
Oh, boy, K could do it to himself. I don't.
Well, no, he may. I'm
Oh,
not saying he'll do it to himself. He may end up with it in him, though.
well, I think everyone is waiting for that to happen. That's
Yeah.
the
So
ultimate, you know,
Yeah. So
that would
with
be the
Joe,
ultimate.
I think the guy's a really good actor. I just don't really love the character too much. I wouldn't want him to be my lead in this show, but I like him as the character he's playing because it works.
Could be, you,
He's
you
just
know what?
he's a little pussy-ish for me.
Well, you are a tough macho guy, Solo. Not everyone is as tough and macho as you, but
But I
I
would
do.
protect him though if I was with him. I like him that much.
Okay. Solo's going on the show.
yes,
Solo's bringing
yes.
Solo's bringing the BDE to the podcast, folks.
Bring it something. I don't know what it is.
I don't think Joe's going to make it through this season. I don't think Joe's going to
I
make it through
like
next
Joe.
episode, but
I think the character is kind. I understand what I understand where you're coming from, Heath. He has not had much firm ground to stand on this entire series, right? He was trying to get out of his job. Then he gets sucked into this. The he sees the ship go down, right? Like so.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think I like him. I dig him. I
no,
would be.
I do like him. I just don't want him as my lead of the next season. Is all I'm saying.
Well,
I
if I
I
asked
hope.
you who's the lead of this show right now,
Well, it's kind of it's kind of a battle because at times Oliphant is right there, but then I guess Wendy to me is, or Wendy's the one I'm really rooting for. And even
Hmm.
though she made the
Really?
alien kill I'm on the alien and Wendy side, guys.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's an interesting point because I do not see her as the hero. I see her as just as she's like a dangerous
She is.
alien.
Yes, but I for some reason, guys, I'm on the alien side.
That's interesting. I'm kind
Yeah,
of on
and I never
Morrow's
happens
side.
to me. It never happens to me this way. I'm usually for good, but
Who
I
whose
don't
side are
know.
you on, Ando?
Uh, I don't know. Like, if I whose side I mean, the person I
Yeah.
want to see win, I guess if there's going
Yeah.
to be a winner is Kirsch, just because
Ah,
Oliphant is
okay.
so awesome in this,
Okay. Okay.
and most of these humans don't deserve to survive at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with Kirsch just laying
This is
fire to
great.
everything. But I mean, the lead it goes back and forth because sometimes it's Boy K, sometimes it's Kirsch,
Yeah,
sometimes it's Joe, sometimes it's Morrow. So it's kind of it's flipped back and forth. I just love it. It's an old-fashioned ensemble. I like
Slightly
that.
has had a lot of screen time
Yeah, the
too.
last half of the season for sure.
I think this is interesting. So Solo is on the side of Wendy and the alien. Ando is on the side of Kirsch. I am on the side of Morrow and Wayland and Yutani, which is a corporation that I despise, of course, and compared to every modern horrible corporation. But I am on the side of Morrow. I kind of, and I'm
good
also, I
pick.
have to admit, I think maybe we're all a little bit on the Kirsch side and the Boy K side in the sense that we kind of just want to see what happens in this experiment here, right? Like the
Hmm.
show itself is an experiment, and I do find myself watching it like Kirsch is looking through looking at the sheep and looking at the egg and looking. I feel like the eye looking at everything. I kind
Maybe I
of
should
don't.
say I'm on the side of the sheep.
Yeah, I am on the side of the sheep too. I
Ah,
am not on Wendy's side at all. I was never I stopped being on Wendy's side way early. I felt like she was not the hero. And I feel like there isn't really a hero in this show, and that's kind of fascinating to me.
the alien is the
And
hero, baby.
and
Yeah,
really
it's
I
the
mean,
alien. I do
maybe the
hope
sheep
so. The
could be
eyeball.
because he was kidnapped from his home. He's obviously a very intelligent
Yep,
creature.
yep.
He's just trying to protect himself. He
And
really hasn't.
we called it a
Yeah.
goat for six
Yeah, we can't
episodes.
even name it. We can't even
Yeah, I
identify the
was
species
wondering
that
that. Listening
inhabit
to
it.
the pod, I'm like, it's a go. I could have sworn it was
Yeah,
shit.
it's a
Yeah, we
sheep.
blamed it on Severance,
Megan
so
helped us.
Oh yes,
Megan
Emergence.
helped us. That
But I
was
like
Megan, but
Morrow too. Like when the guys came out of the water, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
yes, it
Like
yeah.
was Megan. Yeah.
this
Um,
episode to me did it. I mean, it really cemented this series as one of my favorites. I just thought this episode was fantastic.
yeah. And I want to go back to that iTunes review we had earlier, that I still do think it's possible that Kirsch is a mole in some way, and it could be one of the other companies, you know?
Oh, that's
Is
true.
he the mole in
So
Task, you think, Axel?
I don't know, it could be the mole in Task too. He could be in the Black Hearts.
Quick
Um,
question for Ando,
yeah.
while I'm on the line. So Kirsch, I know you're on Team Kirsch. I don't know if I would be on Team Kirsch if it wasn't Oliphant, because I'm always on Timothy Oliphant. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see a different actor. Well, I don't want to see a different actor, but like
He's awesome.
I tend to go with Timothy Oliphant in whatever role he's playing.
You know, I part of me says yes, that is a big thing, but I love David in the Alien prequels. I love
Right.
Bishop in Aliens. I mean, I have a soft spot for synths, I think a lot of
Oh
the time.
yeah,
So,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That makes sense. Because I'm kind of
yeah.
I like Morrow and all of and Kirsch too. So
yeah, I like Morrow
it's
too.
tough.
So,
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Hey, Andy, before we go, you said there were some YouTube comments.
okay, yes. Our good friend Bath Time has joined us, and there's a
Nice.
lot. So I'm gonna work backwards. He says I find Joe dreadfully boring, and by a country mile the least convincing actor. So he is
Oh,
on Solo's side on that one.
okay.
Um, he thinks the parasites might run a train on Boy K. The plant still hasn't done anything, and I wouldn't mind seeing them
Hmm.
all combo boy.
Okay, bath time.
Super
He
solid.
also says Captain Hook is the metaphor for Peter Pan's fear of growing up. Peter Pan is boy. Hook is Kirsch. Smee, the only survivor, could be anyone, but Baldy might be a I'm not sure about be a shout. I don't understand what that means, but that's let's see. Yeah, the Graves, we talked about that. They have communicated with I can't believe we missed this one. The aliens have communicated with people before. Ripley essentially bargained with the Queen Mother, like when she's with the eggs and like she threatens to torch all the eggs if she
That's
doesn't
true.
she
That's
doesn't. I mean,
true.
it's not the same thing as direct communication, but it is a form of communication.
Well, it's interesting too because in this episode itself, Kirsch and Boy Cavalier have a little bit of a debate about, well, when talking about the eye, it knew the result of what it was going to do. It shows a higher intelligence.
Yeah.
That kind of does call back to that scene where it knew if I
Hmm.
the eggs I'm threatening with this fire, it could destroy your eggs. It's not like two steps removed, but
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
He also is fairly sure there will be an Ash appearance, deep fake coming. He says
Oh,
Kirsch is a
oh.
hybrid too, could cause Ash. Yeah, okay. He says Kirsch has been portrayed as a synth supremacist, so you know exactly what he wants.
Mm,
Which
yeah,
I think that's definitely a fair point
that's
too.
true.
Is it fair to say that every hybrid has killed someone except for Smee? I'm trying to think.
Who did
I think
Curly kill
um Curly maybe hasn't because we haven't seen that
yeah,
much of Curly.
by the end of the episode? No, I don't think Curly
I don't
killed
think so.
anybody.
And he said the Raptors in Jurassic Park matches better with where Chris Pratt was racing around with.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
talked. I think
true.
we talked about Jurassic Park connections quite a bit before you got on the chat bath
Did you
time. But
pick
yes,
up on that solo? That it felt Jurassic Parky this episode?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. Uh, I guess it did a little bit, but
Yeah, right?
I, but kind of, I wasn't like immediately
well,
Jurassic
a
Parky.
lot of my stuff was story. I mean,
Um,
the Xeno was the Raptors, but then there's also like they're trying to smuggle technology out of the park. They get
oh yeah.
everything goes to shit because somebody's messing with the computers, and then they get locked out of it, and just little things. I mean, in a good way. I love Jurassic Park, the original, so I like that part of it.
I
So.
guess, I guess it felt more like a Weekend at Axel's more than Jurassic Park for me.
Well, yeah,
Oh, okay.
obviously that's definitely true. The good thing that's not on film.
Bath Time does agree with us at the grave. Wendy wasn't even bothered. She's not human
Yeah.
anymore. Great stuff from Bath Time. Thank you, Bath Time. A lot of good
Yes.
stuff there. We appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who takes the time to write in or join us on YouTube. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Subscribe to our YouTube. It's in the show notes. Just click the link, subscribe. We're covering Task on HBO. We cover the NFL on Around the Couch. Heath is with us on that show. It's me, Heath, Andy, and Brett.
Hold
We
on.
have one
He
more
dropped one more
comment.
great comment that
Okay.
I have to just mention. The bit with the body floating did feel like Weekend at Bernie's.
It did. That is true. And with your background, too.
Yeah, perfect.
Or is
Yes,
that the
exactly.
follow-up? What was the follow-up to Weekend at Bernie's?
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Oh, okay. Um,
That'll be next
all
week's
right.
episode.
Solo, any final words before we leave us? Before you and
No,
we leave you.
I thank you guys for doing this pod. You really educate me on the alien universe. And all I got to say, we won't get fooled again because I'm going to the Who tonight at the Hollywood Bowl.
Nice. Well,
Love you,
have
Fun.
fun.
boys.
We love you too,
Yes.
Solo. You're the best, buddy. Andy, any final words on this episode and any predictions for the finale? Because this is what we're getting to here, folks. The season one finale.
I think we're gonna finally see the plant unleashed. I'm really curious to see that. If we don't, I'm fine with them saving it too, but I just want to see more of I want to see the sheep go do something crazy, and we know that eye is going to leave the sheep to go somewhere else. The eye has been my favorite thing all season, so that's I don't really have a lot of predictions. I think there's going to be a lot more deaths. I don't think Boy K is going to make it. I'm not sure if Kirsch is. I just have a feeling Morrow is going to pull something, and Kirsch is going down. I don't know how. I don't want to see that, but that's my main prediction.
Yeah, well, I have no predictions. I am just along for the ride. I still think it may end with them blowing this up from outer space, but then I don't even know if what season two will look like. I don't know
And
where these characters can go. I think does Wendy we have some questions we're left with. Is Wendy going to call out to the alien and have it kill everyone, or is she going to listen to her brother and allow herself to be taken back to the main
you
spot, the
you made a good
lab?
point too about Noah Hawley doing anthology type shows. They could I never thought of it as they could blow it up this season and then next season takes place 5 years later or 10 years later or in a different part. They could really go anywhere with this.
Yeah,
So at least right
or
now,
a
we'll see what
hundred years
happens.
before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it could be anything. That's why I'm so long. But again, let's get back to the main questions. Is Wendy gonna call? If she does that and the alien take and the xenomorph takes everyone out, is she gonna get on the boat and leave? Where's she gonna go? I would think that maybe she listens to her brother. They get taken back to the lab. Now Morrow's there. All of our characters are there. We don't know how many other special forces people Morrow has on that island. As we did a couple, remember when we left that episode a couple episodes ago? It was like, da da da, da da da. He had all
Yeah.
this city at his
Uh-huh.
disposal.
That's right.
So we could see a bigger fight in that realm. Are we going to see a resolution of what Kirsch is really up to past this all just being a science experiment? The eyeball, what is Dame up to herself with Curly? Do they have some plot that they're going to hatch? Because Curly is probably going to tell her what Wendy told her not to tell. So she's going to find out more information, but maybe she has another plan when she finds if she's going to find out what happened to her husband, right?
Hmm.
Like, so all of a sudden Smee and Slightly come back and they're like, by the way, Arthur's a thing came out Arthur's chest,
Yeah, and
So
I
a lot
mean
of
that's part of why
questions.
like Boy K, there's no way Boy K makes it because everybody is he's pissed everyone off that's on the show, I think, at this point, besides Adam. I don't
Well,
think anyone
really,
is
yeah.
really and he's probably pissed him off too, and I'm just not remembering it. So no one's gonna rush to his save if a Xeno decides to take him or the plant grabs him or whatever. So
Yeah. Well, all right, man. This has been so fun talking about this with you every weekend. Thank you. Any final words?
I don't think so. Like I said this, I'm super glad we decided to cover this show because this has been just awesome. The show has
Yeah.
exceeded my wildest expectations, and I cannot wait for next Tuesday night.
Awesome. Me too. And I hope the episode is like 2 hours long. That would be awesome. That'd be really awesome.
I I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit longer. It just feels like one of those shows that'll be an hour 20 or something like that.
Whatever they give me, I'm going to be happy
That's
with.
that's true.
We'll be back to talk about it next week. In the meantime, please check out our coverage of Task on HBO with Mark Ruffalo, Tom Pelfrey. Great show, awesome show. I suggest that to everyone, as well as subscribe to Around the Couch to hear us talk about the NFL and give our picks each and every week. I was 13 and what was I again? 14 and
The
3 or
first week you were 13-3, and the second week you followed
yeah.
up with a 5-11 spot. So
Yeah, we weren't gonna. I thought we weren't talking about the second weekend. We just talked about the
no,
first
because I
week.
did well the second week and I did
Oh,
shit the first week, so I got to mention
there
it.
you go. All right, everybody. We love you. Be well. We'll be back next week. Alien Earth. Give us some reviews. Join